G'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Derriere Farms for a rather different video. It's more of a general interest video today, and it's kind of a showcase. And you're probably wondering what all this equipment is and why it's laid out before us. Well, before I go into the details, I'll give you a little bit of a background for those of you that probably don't necessarily follow the politics of Farming Simulator in the various social forums. There is an ongoing debate right now, and it's a debate that's been going on for years about the lack of North American equipment in the game. The complaint from the American side of the pond, or this side of the pond, is that Giants puts far too much European content in the game and not enough American content. And yet again, the debate has come to a head with Silver Run Forest and the Platinum DLC. Why? Because the Platinum DLC in Silver Run Forest is set in the Pacific Northwest. Giants have flip-flopped back and forth between whether it's Canadian or whether it's American. Was it Gamescom? FarmCon, the presenter called it Canadian, and then in another presentation they called it American. Anyway, that's beside the point. The comments are, you have made a North American map and all of your equipment is European with the exception of a few pieces. And they're right. It's mainly all Volvo or other European manufacturers that are represented in the add-on. So again, Giants is taking heat because of the lack of North American content. Well, this video is a little bit of a showcase of why we probably shouldn't complain so much. And it's specifically geared towards my fellow Canadian viewers. Those of you who have an interest in farming in Canada or in farming in general, because you will have seen a lot of this equipment if you follow Millennial Farmer or Laura Farms or anyone else. Even Welka Farms. This is a showcase of Canadian equipment that is in the game. And it may surprise quite a few people that there is so much. And the reason I'm making this video is it's a follow-up to a discussion I had, or I've had with a couple of viewers who didn't realize that there was even Canadian content in the game. And the discussion on Discord actually got quite lengthy a couple of times. So I actually sat down and I said, you know what, I'm going to make this video more as a general interest video than anything else. I'm not going to settle the argument. I know I'll never settle the argument between how much North American content versus how much European content there is in the game. But I can show Canadian pride and show you what equipment comes from Canada and is widely used in the farming community. Let me spin around first, and we will take a look at the silos. Meridian. Everybody's heard of Meridian silos. The Welkas have them. Quite a few American farms have Meridian silos on them. They're the main competitor to AGI Westfield. I guess they run by different names. Also, running alongside the Meridian name, another co-company is Conveyal. They actually make, well, we have two pieces of equipment in the game from Conveyal. We have the trailer and we have the auger. Conveyal actually makes quite a bit more equipment. And I forgot one, well, let me just explain first. I didn't drag every piece of equipment out because that would have taken me forever to set up, and I wasn't going to do that for a general purpose video. You'll see what I mean in a second. We move down the row now to Borgo, and I only dragged out 3 pieces of Borgo equipment, and there's a couple more pieces of equipment that are in the game that I left in storage. The great big cedars, for example. Yes, Borgo is a big company, and it's well represented in the game. In fact, it was one of the most popular DLCs when it first came out, and I still see a lot of people using the Borgo equipment. Next, and this was another specific DLC, is the Anderson Group, the bio baler, bale wrapper, bale trailers, feed mixers. They actually make a lot of equipment, and Giants actually did, just like Borgo, they did a specific Anderson Group DLC. Now, as you can see, just peeking off to the left, the piece of equipment that everybody knows, but very few people realize comes from Canada, is Versatile. Versatile's a pretty big tractor company. They're not as well known outside North America. They're not a major multinational like John Deere or Case or New Holland, but they have gained a lot of traction in North America over the last couple of years. And there's only a couple of pieces. Giants has one Versatile tractor, and there are a couple that modders have put in the game. But Versatile makes a pretty, excuse the pun, versatile line of tractors. Medium to high horsepower. They're the opposite of Kubota. While Kubota stops at 200, Versatile starts, I think, around the 300 range and goes up from there. Univerth. We've seen the seed cart. They actually make quite a range of equipment too. We have 82 Studios to thank for this beautiful piece of equipment, porting it over from previous versions of the game. Moving along quickly, because I don't really want the general interest video to take too long, but we have Elmer's Hallmaster grain carts. Yes, you have seen those again. If you follow real farming videos, there's a couple of farmers, Laura Farms being one, that have used Elmer's grain carts. Elmer's is a little bit different because, unlike the competition, they make both left and right unloading augers. And it's your choice when you purchase them as to which side you want to be able to unload on. Next, we have trailers. We have Load King. In the game, Load King's fairly well represented trailer-wise, but they do make other equipment too. And now, this is thanks to custom modding, and it's a name everybody knows. Probably thanks to Millennial Farmer and I think the Welkers, because I think the roll of the Welkers they're using right now is also a Mandako. But we have the Mandako roller and the Mandako Storm tillage, vertical tillage equipment in the game thanks to custom modding. And it's been very well received, judging by the download numbers. And Mandako also make quite a variety of equipment, from heavy tillage equipment to light tillage equipment, the massive roller you see here, and smaller rollers, as well as various other pieces. They're mainly known for their tillage work, like I said, rollers and various different pieces of tillage equipment. The one most people don't realize out of Quebec is Silo King. Silo King is also another company specializing in cattle feeding mainly, but they also make bale wrappers and other forage equipment. In the game, I believe on Mod Hub, there's a couple of other pieces of Silo King equipment, but base game wise, we have the self-propelled and the pull-behind mixer wagons. And that brings us back to versatile. I just wanted to show this one because this is just slightly, not a slightly, it's a beautiful model, and it comes with a whole bunch of different in-cab options. And as you can see, it's 620 horsepower. So it's a bit of a beast, just like John Deere or Case. So I could go digging deeper. I'm not going to go into chainsaws. I'm not going to go into other minor pieces of equipment. These were the main pieces of Canadian equipment that came to my mind when, well, from my days farming that I knew as a farmer that were Canadian. And I did double check to make sure that these companies are still independently owned and operated. They're not part of a multinational corporation now. Perfect example of a Canadian piece of equipment that is now part, well, I won't say it's part of a multinational corporation, but Massey Ferguson has its roots in Canada and in the United Kingdom, and it grew from there into a very large, well-known tractor company that is, yes, it is part of a large multinational corporation now. It's no longer independent like Versatile or John Deere. So, hopefully you found this video interesting. If you're Canadian, I definitely hope you found this video interesting. Give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. In the meantime, we will see you guys on Tuesday when I get my hands on the Platinum DLC. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of the weekend. Take care, Jay.